Nebraska moves to 6-2 on the season with a gritty, tough win, 28-21 over a nasty bunch of nerds from Northwestern. 6-2, bowl eligible for the first time in October since 2016. I think I saw somebody say that in our game thread. Was there ever any doubt? I mean, come on. Was there? I imagine that when we gave up the double-digit lead, there were tons of you freaking out. Do you remember? I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it was after Maryland or Michigan State in which I said, all of the games will be like this. All of them. They will all be like this from now on. Nebraska needed a special teams touchdown. Nebraska needed the refs not to call holding on the last play that Northwestern had on offense. We'll get into the officials in a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot going to be screaming going on about that this week. Whew. Was it an ugly game? Yeah, but, given the history between Nebraska and Northwestern since we've been in the game in the Big Ten, what did you really expect? I mean, did you really expect? I'd like to know that in the comments. What did you expect coming into this game? I honestly, my PTSD was back, so I kind of was like, well, maybe they'll become like Wisconsin. They'll just walk around the field, not score a point, get the shit kicked out of them, we'll have to hire a new coach. But they didn't. They came out and they played with some fire. Obviously, our team has a lot of, shortcomings, like the offensive line that isn't very offensive. But they played through this stuff and they got the win. And there you go. Up next, who cares who's up next? We're living for right now. We're not thinking about the future because this was fun. This was, well, it was kind of an ugly game between two teams that really aren't the best teams in the world, but it was certainly entertaining, I think, to a certain extent, wasn't it? Okay. Nebraska came out right away on their first drive and scored, and I thought, okay, here we go. And then, the game went back and forth. Just when you thought that Dillon interception was terrible and, oh my God, that was the game and it's all over with and your PTSD was exploding and you gave up and went to Walmart or something, Nebraska comes back with 2 turnovers, 2 takeaways of their own, off which we scored 14 points. So that's how you win games like that, one-score games like that. I do take some satisfaction that Dave Portnoy of Barstool said that we were a crap team or something, and he wouldn't bet on us and would take all the points for Northwestern, so screw that guy. Total yards, Northwestern ended up with more than us at 331. We had 296. Emmitt Johnson. I was going to go through the rest of these, but Emmitt Johnson just hit me. Honestly, this team wouldn't be very good without him because Emmitt Johnson, who I think I've called in the past a good back, but not really, no game-breaking speed. Emmitt Johnson has learned how to pick up yards without having an offensive line in front of him. He does that jump cut, that kid when you used to play Kill the Carrier or whatever we called it back in the day, that kid that you could never tackle, he does that, and it's beautiful. And he gets so many more yards out of nothing. Probably kind of like Rex Burkhead, I think, more than anybody else. But Emmitt Johnson finished with 124 yards on 27 carries with 2 TDs. A good day for him. Isaiah Mosey had 3 carries for 28 yards, a long of 21, which was nice for him. We had a fade, kind of a fadey pass. I'm not going to call it a fade. Just say it's fadey. It was a fadey looking pass that we scored on in the end zone. That was really nicely done. We had 155 yards rushing, more than we had throwing the ball. And we won the turnover battle, I think. Didn't we? 1-2. They had 2 interceptions and we had 1. No, we both had 2 turnovers. The fumble by Dylan Raiola. No, remember, I don't take notes on these. This is just free form. Their quarterback, 2 interceptions, 15 for, I'm spitting up already. 15 for 29 for 159 for their guy with 2 interceptions that cost them the game. What else can you say about this win? It's a win, and it drove you crazy, didn't it? It made you all like age 83 years. And like I said, all the games are going to be like this. We do not have a good offensive line. I think that's pretty evident. They had one shot that was on a third down play of our line, and they didn't fire off the ball at all. I mean, they really just kind of, I don't know, they didn't really get back for pass blocking. They just didn't really move forward with a push. So I don't know what's going on with the offensive line. I do think it's, you look at Teddy Prohaska get run over by a guy in a bull rush, and it looks like he probably hurt his knee pretty badly. I don't know why that guy's even playing, because between him and Turner Corcoran, they're so beat up that they should be being spelled by some younger guys by now. But again, I could go on and on about the offensive line. I think they played better today. Uh, Certainly Dana Holgorsen had a better day calling plays, because he started out running the ball and he stuck with it. There were times at which he went, stop throwing the fucking ball on first down. But you know what? We got through it. And the ball came out faster. There were some really good crosses and screen plays and stuff like that I think, you always want them to be better executed. And it's kind of maddening that they're always not. But, that's the game of football. They're all going to be like this. Just accept that, and it'll go easier for you. Like, what do we got? USC? Just watch. Just relax. Take some breaths. And go, I don't know, we might get destroyed. We might not. Who knows? That's next week. What else could I say about this game? What's going on about the offensive line? My God, the officiating is horrifying. I don't know what to say about it. Other than except the fact that the officiating is horrifying. You're going to get calls on both sides of the ball. There were some spots in that game that you certainly looked at and went, we have instant replay. I don't understand, like, why we didn't get a first down, or I go on and on and on about it. I will say this about our defense. Sierra Wright seems to lose his head a little bit, and I think if I was an opposing player, I would screw with that guy all game long just to get him into a point where he's at the end of the game picking up personal fouls. Because he looks like he can be had in the future. I just said live for now, didn't I? The officiating again, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of complaining. There's probably going to be a lot of, if we take away this play, we take away that play, then it's a 14-point win and all this kind of crap. That I never found any sense in that. I don't know if there's a lot of sense in complaining about the officials, because obviously nobody's going to do anything about it. What they should do, I mean, the NFL doesn't even have full-time officials, and they should. I mean, they have billions of dollars, so why in the hell not actually get better officials? College football has billions of dollars too, but what they don't have is a central body that actually governs all of that. And I mean, not the NCAA, but like something where they could set up like a national officiating, so that we don't have conferences controlling the officiating. You have officials that are officials for all the games. You don't have Big Ten refs and SEC refs, and I was going to say Pac-12 refs. They barely exist. Big 12 refs, that kind of thing. That would, I think, go a long way to helping officiating. The other thing would help officiating is if you stopped yelling so much at the officials when your kids are playing baseball and football in high school and stuff, so they grow up and can become big officials later on in your lives. Let's see. Dane Key came through on some catches. The Brian Williams return was absolutely beautiful. I think they said that was the first touchdown return since 2017. So there you go. Won the game for us, giving that guy a scholarship. Isaiah Hunter, 6 catches for 70 yards and that one fadey-looking touchdown. Overall, very ugly. Not particularly a beautiful game, but a win for Nebraska, 6-2. I don't know. You can be angry about this game. We can find a lot of things wrong. I think we know what we have for a team. Their offensive line is not good. The defensive line can be had. They need to, the coaches, they need to work around those shortcomings. And I think John Butler is a coach, as a defensive coordinator, who is who is getting better. I think that it should unnerve you that we have a guy who's really a first-time defensive coordinator at this level in the Big Ten. On the other hand, I do think he's going to be good at defensive coordination. So I just wish he kind of wasn't learning on the job while we're playing in the Big Ten. Obviously, Dana Holgorsen made some changes in this game, and I think he called pretty much a good game. There's not, you could nitpick things. He should have done this. He should have done that. That's all. Keep in mind, these guys have to make, like, I don't know, 100 decisions all within 30 seconds. So I think they both had good game plans coming into this game. There you go. It's a good win. Let's move on. Well, honestly, let's take time to enjoy this win because, man, the comments were all over the board. People were like, I think somebody said their heart couldn't take it and they were signing off, which is perfectly fine. This was a kind of a milestone game for me because I didn't tweet for the first time in probably, I don't know, 12 years during this entire game. So I just stayed, I looked at Twitter a little bit, but mostly stayed off of it. And I stayed in our game thread. So if you want to come to our game threads for the game, you know, there's a lot of craziness going on, but it wasn't too bad. That's it. That's the game. Good win. Glad we won. Because God help us, I'd have been in the bathroom for a loss, and I probably would have been, you know what I would have done after that? After the video, I probably would have gone to Home Depot, got torches and pitchforks, headed to Lincoln. So I don't have to do that. That's good, isn't it? All right. Thank you all for the support. Go Big Red. We got a lot of season left in front of us. Look forward to it. Yay. Go Big Red again.